Sailor Shoe presents.
Impulze was a label used by UK developer Zeppelin Games and is famous for creating Graham Souness Vector Soccer. This game is well known among gamers as one of, if not the worst football game of all times. But did you know that Impulze also created the worst hockey game ever, in the same year nonetheless? Well, in this video I'm putting myself through the pain of playing them both. Will this be a case of so good it's funny, or just a terrible experience? Stick around and find out. Graham Souness was a Scottish player and manager who was unfortunate enough to lend his name to two terrible games by Zeppelin. The worst of them, this complete mess. Its 3D perspective is ambitious, but it's very poorly executed. Here I am trying to play the game in first-person view, which is a confusing, almost trippy experience. I have absolutely no idea what's going on. Somehow the game still ends goalless, although I don't remember having the ball at all during the game. I'm not going to spend any time on this game, it's been covered enough. I'm just going to give you 20 seconds or so of this mess to marvel at. The other game under the Souness license was Graham Souness Soccer Manager, in some regions known as Peter Schmeichel Soccer Manager, which, while not as terrible as Vector Soccer, was sufficiently hopeless in its own right. However, this is not the focus of this video, so let's move on to the lesser known, but even worse game than the Souness games, International Ice Hockey. The strangeness starts with the box. What's this red thing? Is it a planet circling a hockey puck? Is it a berry on a string? And the game is for the Amiga Plus, whatever that is. The contents of the box is barren to say the least. A very basic disc and an even more basic manual. It's strange that such a low budget release is in an actual big box. Even with a manual, I can't figure out how to pick teams, so I'm stuck playing Belgium against Bulgaria. That's a singular hockey experience. From the start, it's clear perspective drawing wasn't where the developers excelled. Neither was animation. Controlling your player is really awkward and imprecise. They're like hippos on skates. The puck physics is very suspect. The puck sometimes seems to gain infinite energy from hitting the boards or back of the goal, and sometimes it just dies. On rare occasions, it rolls off the top of the lower rink, like the rink is down flat on the ice. The rink in itself feels like it's the size of Canada, and you can see a very small portion of it, which combined with the botched perspective makes it really hard to know where you are. It's confusing to say the least. You kind of have to skate around the offensive zone searching for the goal like you're on a treasure hunt. The goalkeepers seem to have two frames of animation, standing up or lying down. There are a lot of penalties. You get 2 minutes almost every time you bump into an opponent. And what with all that throwing your arms in the air? Just look at this. It's like they are doing the werewolf dance. It's cool to have replays at the intermission, but of course the goals are so strange it really doesn't matter. Is he in front or behind the goal? How did he get there? There is no way to know what teams are playing once you're in the game, you have to wait for the break. I think you get the picture here. This is the worst digital depiction of the sport of ice hockey ever. On the other hand, it regularly makes me laugh out loud at the shenanigans of its cardboard-like participants. Old school table hockey games were better animated. Reviews for this game were in the 30s and 40s, as can be expected. Wayne Gretzky Hockey was out and people knew what a good hockey game looked like. But for some reason, Amiga format gave this game 79%. That has to be a typo or a misprint. It's quite an accomplishment by Zeppelin that in the same year used the Impulse label to release 2 historically bad sports games. This was a really fun video to make, and I'd really like some more suggestions for terrible retro sports games in the comments.